Hello and welcome, it's the start of May. This week I'm going to be potting up some chilies, aubergines and peppers that 6 weeks ago looked like this, which now look like this, and some tomatoes which 6 weeks ago were still in the packets, which now look like this. So let's have the theme tune and get going. So potting things on, why now? I'll be honest, I should have done these a while ago I think, but between you and me, I might have had an allotment for 7 years, but I've never grown tomatoes before, so a bit of a learning curve, but you know, maybe I should have moved them before, but they look so happy, they look so happy. When these peppers, for example, they're spaced out, I've got like 7 in there. They're happy, they're growing. When you're pricking stuff out, and if you've got hundreds of seeds and you need to give them a bit more room, these have got plenty of room, so they're just now ready. They're showing the roots at the bottom, etc. Time for them to move into little pots of their own. So, what do you need when you're potting on? Soil. So I've got 2 buckets of soil from where the compost heap was at the allotment, so it should have some nutrients in it. And for the past few months I've been adding tea bags, used tea bags, cutting them open and pouring the tea leaves out, which is easy if it's dry, the tea bag. If the tea bag's wet it's a bit gross, but anyway, mixing that in. If you think about it, tea bags are just cut up dried tea leaves, aren't they, which is, they must have some nutrients in there. The internet says it does anyway, so that's good. I've got my soil. What else do I need? I need some pots. So last year, when I planted my sweet corn seeds, I just rolled up some newspaper and made some kind of temporary pots. So these pots are only temporary for these plants. Sit in, grow a bit bigger, till they finally go either in the ground or into a bigger final pot. So there's 2 types I've got that I've been experimenting with this year. There's the old rolled up newspaper, so you easy enough, roll your paper round a jam jar. What I do is I wet the bottom, squash it down like that. If you've got a loose end there, a bit of flour and water, and that kind of seals it. That's pair this one, and then just sort of get your hand and just push it down, and then it ends up quite sturdy like that. You can see the rolls of paper there. And then I've got this type that I'm experimenting with, which, so I get strips of newspaper, wet through, squash them, rows and rows of it into here. After a couple of days of drying out, they come out like this, which is kind of a paper mache but without glue. So that's more compacted, that's loose, that's compacted. Is that more solid? We will see. I'm testing both. Pros and cons. These take about a minute each. I made 30 in half an hour the other day. These, because I've only got 3 pots and they take 2 days to dry out properly, I've made about 30 of these, but it took me about a month. Anyway, so we've got the pots. Let's pot on. So first of all, I'm going to put on my tomatoes. I've got 4 different types: Black Russian, Orange Queen, Craigella and Tigerella. I won't show you which one's which at the minute. What I do want to show you is size difference. So these planted exactly the same time as these 6 weeks ago. Obviously these toilet rolls, for some reason they don't hold enough soil, they're too wet, too dry or whatever. Not done them as good a service as this plastic tray. I mean, they're just massive, aren't they? These guys need a lot of water. I left them for half a day without watering. Oh, I thought I'd lost them. Look what happened. Back from the brink though, back from the brink. I'm no tomato expert. I should maybe have potted them on a while ago. And then we've got these, which were planted 2 weeks after all these, and so these got a 2 weeks head start, these are already bigger. Maybe toilet rolls aren't good for tomatoes. So I have been reading around the subject. You're supposed to plant tomatoes deeper than they are now. So these, for example, you can see the first leaves that pop up out the ground, and these are the true leaves which actually look like tomato leaves and smell like tomato leaves. So you can plant the tomato plants right up until these first couple of leaves that do appear out of the soil. And these hairy stems here, I have read, have the capability, little nodules on them, to grow extra roots when they're under the soil to give the plant more support and to help them draw more water. So plant them deep. Right, let's get potting.
Dig. Dave. Dig.
Dig, 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 dig.
So that's my tomatoes potted on. We'll come back to them in a bit. Right, what have I got now? I've got my peppers. So these are peppers. These 3 trays are peppers. Just bought a packet of, you know, when you get red, yellow and green peppers. Just took the seeds out of that. Planted that. These are pepper from a packet. Pepper citrina. So proper peppers, but I can't tell the difference. I can't tell the difference. All going well on the pepper front. We've got the chilies. So these are from this plant. This is its parent. So I took a chilli from there from last year, dried out the seeds and planted them. They're already bigger than its parent. Maybe this one's got a chilli already. I sort of overwintered it. Sort of trimmed it back before winter came. It's been indoors. It looks a bit rough, but it's got chilli on it already. So that's its parent. They're alright. With these peppers and the chilies, and particularly the tomatoes, looking after little things, maybe not my forte, but I did quite enjoy it actually, looking after them and doing like minute bits of weeding. Maybe working from home helped me in terms of I was always around to give them a good water and make sure that they don't get overcome by weeds and stuff. So chilies and peppers are alright. Aubergines, Viserba 3, long cylindrical glossy purple skinned fruits, no bitter aftertaste. That's always a bonus, isn't it? No idea about aubergines. I've grown peppers and chilies before, but not aubergines. I think they like the heat, so I'll have to be careful with these. But I think it's a trailing variety, but they look alright. Maybe not as sturdy as these. They look alright, they look alright. Right, it's time to get them lot potted on. And we are done. Well, I'm almost done. I ran out of pots, so my aubergines will have to wait. I've made some new pots just now, but I'll best wait for the paper on them to dry where I've squished the bottom down. Right, I haven't used plant labels, so how am I going to identify my plants? I've got 4 different types of tomatoes. Well, I've decorated some of them. Let's check out the teams. We've got the Chillies, Kylie Minogue, Meatloaf, Dolly Parton, Britney Spears, Taylor Swift. And we got the Black Russians, the ones on the back there in the taller ones. And we've got Kim and Kanye, Vladimir Putin, a hare, elephants, Louis Theroux, the Black Russians. Tigerella tomatoes, Elvis, Graham Norton, Kirby, Greg Wallace, unfortunately Ainsley Harriott was not available, Highland Cow, Leopard, Ross Kemp, some Royals, a sheep, zebras, Tigerellas. Team Craigella, Nadia, William Shatner, Victoria Cohen Mitchell, Gandalf, Craigella. Orange Queen tomatoes. Bianca from EastEnders, Andy Murray, Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Caine, Godzilla and King Kong, the Beckhams, Anchorman, and a duckling. Orange Queen. Mystery tomato. Dog in a cup and saucer. We've got the citrina peppers. Got Man from Line of Duty. I don't watch it, I don't know his name. Alan Partridge. That's a massive tall duck. Paddington Bear. A dinosaur. Rambo. Johnny Vegas. Citrina peppers. Why have plant labels when you can have a complicated cross-referencing system? Bound to be foolproof, that. And imagine, in a couple of months' time, Britney Spears has got powdery mildew. Gandalf's got tomato blight. Elvis is dead. Again. Did have a Freddie Mercury, but he's no longer with us. He's with my mum. I gave her a chilli and a couple of tomato plants. Right, that is it for this week. Thank you for watching. Click subscribe, send me a comment, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.